up, wake up. It's the Flow Show, no filter. Back for another Thirsty Thursday. I'm thirsty today. How y'all doing? Put a 1 in the chat if you can hear me. 1's in the chat if you can hear me. Fucking crick in my neck. Good morning, everybody. Let's see who we got in the building today. Y'all heard C-Tuck. C-Tuck said, good morning, Flow and Crew. Make sure y'all like the live as y'all enter, please. And thank you in advance. Who we got in here? Good morning, Steph, Lily, Desi, RX. Island, what's up? Give everybody a chance to come on in here. Got a lot to talk about today. Ooh, I got a fucking crick in my neck. Don't y'all hate that? I was sleeping so good. I had my head in a stupid ass position for a long time and didn't even realize it because I was getting such good sleep. My head was like bent in a 90-degree angle. I'm paying for it now. My fucking neck hurt. But it's all good. It's all good. The thoughts, views, and opinions shared on the Flow Show No Filter are for educational and entertainment purposes only. I am not a professional. I am just good. Thank you. Thank you. Welcome, everybody, to another Thirsty Thursday. We're thirsty today. Come on in. Come on in. So, you know, we got to talk about Diddy. Man, them lawsuits dropping like flies. Judge Subramanian, he got to bring his ass. He going to have to bring it. Judge Subramanian going to have to bring it October 3rd because I don't know if y'all noticed, but these lawsuits are dropping like freaking flies. We're going to talk about another one that just got dropped. We're going to update on baby Haro. The father has came clean with his bitch ass. And what else? Oh, just on some hip hop news. I don't know if y'all been following the Young Thug case, but he pleaded out. Young Thug was actually caught up in a RICO, the rapper Young Thug. And there's some crazy shit going around talking about he snitching. And it's an interrogation video that he telling who did what and why, talking about somebody named Pee Wee. That's kind of going viral, and people ain't letting it go. And Young Thug has been dogging all kind of people about snitching. One of the people including Gunna. So that's just an announcement of some viral shit that's been going on. But if you're a Young Thug fan, he catching hell right now. But yeah, so Diddy's lawsuits, man, these lawsuits is dropping like fucking flies, man. Oh, you heard about that? Rachel said she heard about that yesterday. Yeah, and if you follow me on social media, I did a post about it. But these Diddy lawsuits, y'all, another one just got dismissed. We're going to talk about why. Let's get into it. Diddy sexual battery lawsuit dismissed. Judge say the clock ran the fuck out. This is from TMZ. Diddy racks up another legal victory. Sexual battery case tossed out. While Diddy's sitting in jail awaiting sentencing in this federal crime case, he can celebrate another win. This win is in a civil lawsuit filed by a guy who claimed the mogul drugged him and sexually assaulted him at a nightclub. The lawsuit was filed back in February, and the plaintiff said he was an up-and-coming 23-year-old artist in 2015 when he scored a gig at LA nightclub where Diddy was in attendance. The alleged details sound like several other Diddy lawsuits. The John Doe plaintiff claimed he was given a drink, fell unconscious, and woke up to Diddy having unwanted sexual contact with him. In this lawsuit was filed by Tony Busby. Doe claimed Diddy threatened his future career if he resisted. But a New York judge says Doe waited too long to file a lawsuit in the state, and according to the order obtained by TMZ, the case is now dismissed. The judge said there was a 5-year statute of limitations when the alleged assault went down. She also noted a new law passed in 2019 extending the statute to 20 years, but it's not retroactive and therefore does not apply to this case. The plaintiff had also accused Diddy's companies, Bad Boy Entertainment and Combs Enterprises, but those suits have also been dismissed. As we reported, Diddy recently scored wins in a few other civil lawsuits filed against him. Of course, there are dozens more still active, and he'll find out his sentence in the federal case on October 3rd. So another one bites the dust. Another Diddy lawsuit bites the dust on a technicality. Time ran out. But you know what that makes me think about, y'all? It goes back to the point we made on this show a little while ago. I think it was actually last week when I said, why didn't they use they used stupid evidence also in this Diddy case. Like, we got thousands of crazy stories like that. Let's say a lot of them are false, but let's say out of all of them lawsuits, a few of them got to be true. I mean, at least unless 1,000 people making this shit up, some of them got to have some truth to them or whatever. They literally only really used his quote unquote girlfriends as victims. And with somebody that has all of these crazy ass lawsuits coming around with all kind of different people saying, Diddy drugged me and did this and did that. You know, you look back on the trial and like, why would they literally only use his girlfriend? It just don't make no sense, man, when you really think about it. Pitt says it was rigged from the beginning. They really weren't trying to get him behind bars. Yeah, it really makes you think. Because, like I said before, when we were going before the trial started, there were so many things, you know, celebrities being seen on freak-off tapes. So many children that were allegedly harmed. So many actual men who were assaulted or allegedly assaulted. And just all kind of crazy shit, right? And we all thinking, this shit got to be in the trial, or some of it got to be in the trial, right? Like, you know, we all thinking that. You assuming that. We all assuming that. We're not even thinking like some of this shit ain't going to be there. And then you think about it, we blew through a 8-week trial, and it was nothing like what we thought it would be, the evidence, I mean. And the more I read all these lawsuits, the more I'm like, wait a minute, this case wasn't even nowhere near what we were sold. It's not, the case didn't end up being anywhere near what we were sold. We were sold a case. We were sold a case full of celebrities being called freak offs. Shit. Men like this man right here. There were numerous stories where men say they were assaulted after having a drink. Nothing like that in the case at all. Like we've had like hundreds of allegations. Not one of those stories made it to the trial about the men. We even had underage people who claimed assault, and we had a lot of them. And then you think about it, none of that shit was in the trial. All we got in the actual trial were his ex-girlfriends or whatever relationship you want to call it. And when you see these laws, you're like, what the fuck? Like, it's almost like you feel like a fast one was pulled on you. Don't you understand what I'm saying? It's like you now that you had time to reflect, and you like, what we were sold was nothing like what we were told once the trial started. RX makes a good point. RX says the longer it goes on, the more it seems like the feds just wanted them tapes to sweep them under the rug like Epstein. No accountability, just clean up. Clean up on aisle 6, right? Clean up on aisle 6. It don't, something is definitely fishy about it. The more you think about it. Desi says, I feel they're covering up the underage stuff and it may be linked to politicians too. Yeah. Something ain't right, y'all. Something ain't right. Just put yourself in the frame of mind of where we all were and all of the crazy, crazy shit we were hearing before the trial started. Think about it. Good morning, Black Rose. Think about it. We had Courtney Burgess with the freak off tapes and the raid, and his home is raided. All these raids, and all we got was stories about girlfriend assaults. Yet we had all these Diddy homes raided. Supposedly Courtney Burgess, if you don't remember, Courtney Burgess was the one who had the freak off tapes from and the Kim Porter memoir. We don't hear about none of that shit. We don't even hear about Kim Porter at all in the case, for real. But most importantly, now when you think about all that crazy shit, I need you to fast forward and think about the shit that we heard about it and compare the two. It makes absolutely no sense. And the trial went by so fast. You didn't really get a chance to even reflect on it or realize. It was like next thing you know, it was over with. They didn't interview or they didn't get any kind of statements from D-Rock, none of the security, Uncle Paulie, if he's still alive. I don't know what the hell Uncle Paulie doing. But none of the people, KK, Christina Korm, was she not subpoenaed? How could you not subpoena the actual people who were the who handled everything besides who worked right hand in hand with Diddy? How could you not subpoena them? It just don't seem right, y'all. The more these lawsuits, it's like it makes me think about different things when I hear these lawsuits because I'm like, none of that shit was in the trial. It makes no sense at all when you really think about it. Yep, and so the indictment, it doesn't make none of it makes sense. None of it makes sense when you really think about it. That's why we are all watching very closely what the hell is going on uh October 3rd. Nebby Debbie says you got money, you can do whatever you want, apparently. This is true. Liddy says the whole judicial system is whack and sick. It's sickening. Yeah, it's crazy. And like I said, it only makes me think about it because I'm like, these lawsuits remind me of the horrific stuff we were hearing about before the case. And when you really dig down deep, once you got into the case, it was none of that. And it's like I said, it doesn't sound right. Not right at all. What else we got on the docket today? It don't sound right at all. Definitely don't sound right. So we are gonna have to tune in, and money can buy you. Lindsay says money can buy you a verdict. Yeah, this. I'm starting to. It's been hard for me to come to the side of saying that this was just humiliation and the feds really weren't trying to get him. It's been hard for me to go there, but I'm about ready to go there because with all the stuff they had, and you raided his whole home and had all of this, you had guns with the uh, serial number scratched off. You had all kind of extra shit, and none of it was in the case. It does seem like it was humiliation. I don't know. Like I said, I've been holding back from even going there because people have been saying that, but now it's getting to the point where I'm like, you know what? There might be something to that shit because it really just does not make any sense. It just does not make any sense. I'm like, I don't know, y'all. What y'all think? Let me see some more of y'all comments. See some more of y'all comments. It's just been crazy. This is the world we live in. You just don't know what to believe. We get to the point where you don't know what the fuck to believe. Desi says, I know for a fact that the legal system here in Australia, including lawyers and judges, are part of the same ideology. I've been sacrificed and continue to be targeted by the system. It's a global problem. That's sad. That's sad. It, yeah, it started off crazy, ended up like I mean, compared to where it started, it almost ended up like a nothing burger. You know what I mean? Like, not to downplay what actually was in the trial, because it definitely was some bullshit and horrific. But what I'm saying is, when you compare it to what was said prior to the trial, thank you for that, for the holla, Steph. Thank you for $10 holla. Me flow, we all needed it. Yes, for sure. Definitely gonna get into it. Get student. Yes, that happened. This world is just every fucking ounce, every bit, every you're just in danger everywhere you go. Our children are in danger. I I feel for people. To be honest, I'm 18-year-old. I would be a nervous wreck with the child, with like an 8-year-old or 5-year-old, 7-year-old, 10-year-old. I don't know if I can handle it right now. My hearts go out to any of y'all that have uh, little bitty children in this world. It's just crazy. It's just crazy. I don't even know. I couldn't do it. Like I said, I would be a nervous wreck all day long. You can't even trust that they're gonna be okay at school. You can't trust that they're gonna be okay at church. Church is dangerous. Church is a dangerous place now. You see how they diddy, how they swept a lot of stuff under the rug. Then you think you'll be all right in church, and you hear stuff like this. ABC News reports Minneapolis shooting, 8-year-old and a 10-year-old unalive, 17 others hurt at a Catholic school. An 8-year-old and a 10-year-old are taken out of here through gunfire. That 8-year-old and that 10-year-old have parents. And I cannot imagine the feeling of knowing your child was literally gunned down at school. You go to school to learn. You don't go to school to burn from hot bullets and be unalived. Let's get into this tragedy. An 8-year-old and a 10-year-old sitting in pews were unalived when a shooter opened fire through the windows of a church at the Annunciation Catholic School in Minneapolis on Wednesday morning. 17 others were injured in the shooting during a mass that marked the first week of school. 14 of the injured victims were children ages 6 to 15. If I'm not mistaken, I think C. Tuck got an 8-year-old. I think our Flow Show No Filter community, I think C. Tuck got an 8-year-old. I think he got 2 kids in this age range. We got to be careful. "14 of the injured victims were children ages 6 to 15. And the 3 adults who were shot were in their 80s. The shooter, with his bitch ass, died at the scene from a self-inflicted gunshot wound." So y'all know I always talk about this. Hate this. You gonna unalive innocent children as they pray, and then unalive yourself. Why couldn't you just do yourself? Why you just didn't unalive yourself? Why you gotta take other people? If it's your choice, I'm not preaching or pushing nobody to unalive themselves. But if that's your choice, that's your choice. Why are you gonna take somebody else's life and then take your life? That makes it even worse. See, you got, like I said, see, Tuck got kids in this range. And you send your kids to school feeling like they're safe. And you got jerks, assholes, and whatever you want to call them that will take their life and then take his own life. Like, what? You could have just did the do yourself. You got to take somebody else's life and then take your. This is a vicious news cycle. This is a vicious news cycle. When I saw this story, I couldn't even believe it. I couldn't even believe it. Right. You could, if you was feeling like that before you go to the school, you could have took care of your own self. But you got to go take somebody who's happy with their life, because apparently you are unhappy about your life. You're miserable. But you got to take all this extra effort to go take somebody else's life, some kids' life, parents who are devastated today. And then after all that, then your bitch ass take your own life. What a coward. What a coward. I was all ready to for it when it first broke before they reported that the shooter took his own life. I was ready for them to report. I wanted to see this dude. I wanted this dude to be held accountable. I was ready to see who he was. It was such a fucking downer. It was such a anticlimactic when they reported that he shot himself. Just ridiculous, man. Let's continue. The FBI identified the shooter as 23-year-old Rob Westman, who was born Robert. 23-year-old Robin Westman, who was born Robert Westman. Driver's license information reviewed by ABC News described Westman as a female born on June 17, 2002. A name change application for a minor born on the same date, June 17, 2002, was approved by a district court in Minnesota in 2020, changing the name of a Robert Westman to Robin Westman, explaining the minor child identifies as a female and wants her name to reflect that identification. Dozens of rounds fired as children worshipers sat in pews. The mass shooting unfolded just before 8:30 a.m. when the shooter approached the side of the building and fired a rifle through church windows towards the children and other worshipers sitting in the pews. Dozens of rounds were fired, the chief said, and he called it a deliberate act of violence against innocent children and other people worshiping. Look at this thing. Just pure evil. Within seconds of the gunfire, the heroic staff moved students under this, and schools said in the statement the students and staff were evacuated in a matter of minutes when it was safe to do so, the school said. The suspect was armed with a rifle, a shotgun, and a pistol, and police believe shots were fired from all three weapons. The chief also said all three weapons were purchased legally and recently. A possible smoke bomb was also discovered at the crime scene. Police say they believe the shooter acted alone. FBI Director Kash Patel said the FBI is investigating the shooting as an act of domestic terrorism and a hate crime targeted Catholics. But police said a motive is not known. We're looking at obviously any possibilities. Accounts believed to be associated with the shooter, specifically a video posted earlier Wednesday on YouTube. Sources familiar with the matter told ABC News the video shows someone flipping through dozens of pages of notes, which include what appears to be drawings of weapons, and one drawing depicted the inside of church pews. A fifth grader describes moments the shots rang out. Students in pre-K to eighth grade attend the school. Young children wearing their uniforms were seen leaving the school holding their parents' hands. Weston, a 10-year-old fifth grader at the school, said he was sitting next to a stained glass window that the shooter fired through. It was right beside me. I was like 2 feet away from the stained glass window, so the shots were right next to me. This 10-year-old gonna be traumatized for the rest of his damn life. This shooter is gonna be traumatized for the rest of his damn life. The boy said he and his classmates immediately hid under a pew as the gunfire continued. My friend got hit in the back. He went to the hospital, said Weston, who spoke to KSTP with the permission of his grandfather. I was super scared for him, but I think he's okay. He said he and his classmates were taken to the school gym where they waited for the news of what had just occurred. Weston said his mother was outside the church when the shooting erupted, and was the first person he saw when he emerged from the church. I was scared. I was scared that I wasn't going to see her because I didn't know what was happening. I was just shook and in shock, Weston said. Another student at the school told KTSP that she was in the church when she suddenly heard a loud noise that she initially thought was fireworks. And then when I saw the shooting, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so scared, said the girl who did not want her name published. She said a teacher led her and her friend downstairs to seek shelter in a preschool classroom. Me and my friend were just praying and praying. And I was like praying everybody could be safe and like nobody would do this again. Terror. Neighbor describes rushing to the scene, comforting wounded children. Comforting wounded children. Pat, who lives down the street from the church, said in an interview with ABC News, he mistook the initial shots for roofing work. And then after about the 10th shot, I knew it was something bad, he said, saying that he jumped out of his chair and ran into the school. Initially, it was kind of an eerie, quiet. He said, then he saw children coming out of the door, including a boy and a girl, with what appeared to be serious injuries. He said he comforted them as they waited for first responders. The boy looked me right in my eyes. He said, I'm okay. I am okay. The girl who had been wounded wanted her mom. We got a wounded little girl, wounded by gunfire, calling for her mom. This scene. This is like a movie, but it's actually reality, which is fucking crazy. I reassured her that I do everything I could to get her mom, but we needed to stay there and wait for police and an ambulance to come. I just mainly wanted to keep the kids calm. During a news conference, an emotional Minneapolis mayor, Jacob said these kids were literally praying. It was the first week of school. They were in a church. These are kids that should be learning with their friends. They should be playing on the playground. They should be able to go to school or church in peace without the fear or risk of violence, and their parents should have the same kind of assurance. This kind of act of evil should never happen, and it happens far too often, he said. Anybody who is using this as an opportunity to villainize the trans community or any other community out there has lost their sense of common humanity. We should not be operating out of a place of hate. Kids died today. Minnesota is heartbroken. Just fucking sad, man. I don't know what to say, man. We just to know that kids are running around wounded like they in war, like they signed up for war or some shit. How does a little bitty child of a girl, how does she end up wounded from gunfire, running around looking for her mom? Every last child involved in this, their life is forever changed. Their lives are forever changed. They will never, ever forget about this day. I'm sure they will never get the sound of gunfire and bullets raining every fucking where. I'm sure they will never get that out of their system. And all because of this fucking jerk. I don't care if they trans. I don't care if they, you know, identify as regular old, whatever. I have no kind words to say about a motherfucker who run around blasting people. I don't even care about what they are, to be honest with you. I'm gonna be straightforward. I don't give a fuck because that don't mean shit to me. You blasted kids and then cowardly took your own life. I don't care if you what you are. That don't mean shit to me. I'm just being straightforward. That don't mean nothing to me. To me, you are a piece of shit who blasted kids and destroyed lives. That's it. I don't need to break down anything else. I don't need no more. I don't need all that information. It's very simple to me. Because it don't make it no better or no worse by us describing what they were into this and into that. They blasted kids. End of discussion. Why is it so easy to get gun? It's easier to get a gun it's easier to get a gun these days than it is to fucking vote sometimes. Sometimes you have more problems voting than you do to get a fucking firearm. Definitely prayers for the children, prayers for the family, prayers for the parents, prayers for the school. Imagine your child goes to that school. How does that school move forward from this? Some fool. Yeah, exactly. Some fool. Look, yeah, look, funny. They are focused on the shooter's gender identity, but not talking about the thousands other that were straight white males. Exactly. I don't give a fuck about all that. I don't need you to break down the gender identity and what they identify was. That's that political shit. That's nothing but politics. When they start getting into that, what they gender, what they identified, that's just because they make everything about politics. That ain't nothing but politic talk. That's why I'm really I love being independent, because the older I get, the more I'm turned off about how everything becomes political. It ain't even about the children to a lot of these people. It's about who did it, who's against the trans community, who's for the trans community. Oh, so now we can talk. We can say that we can harp on it and say that it's a trans person, because now that will help us when we trying to have laws against the trans. Like, whatever you believe, that's for you. But when I'm in the middle of discussing these stories, I'm too busy thinking about how the children felt when there's gunfire and bullets raining all over the place. How are these parents feeling that they sent their kids to school and their kids didn't return from school? I'm thinking about shit like that. I don't give a damn about what the person identified of. That don't mean shit to me right now. It just don't. You can put any person that did that. I got one simple word, one simple term: piece of shit. I don't need a full breakdown. To me, they are a piece of shit, whatever they were. To me, they identify as a piece of shit. You got little girls running around school wounded from bullets. You got little kids telling stories like they at Vietnam. You think I give a damn what this shooter identified as? But that's what pisses me off about this country, because they don't give a damn. They just want to see how it affects the politics. How can I leverage this situation for my benefit? Regardless of what side you're on. I'm not speaking for any side. The Democrats, some of the Democrats will use this for as leverage for their stance. Some Republicans will use this as leverage for their stance, whether we're talking about gun laws, whether we're talking about gender identity, all of that type of shit. They don't really give a damn. They trying to figure out how this applies politically. And I hate that shit. Or should I say, and I don't like it. What's more, they don't care about no morals. They care about what the shooter identified as. They try to slip that in there. They try to slip that in there like they just giving information. I don't give a damn about that. What you telling me that for? You can tell me that months and months from now if you want to. If you must tell me that, you can tell me that a few months from now, when the story is kind of old news, let's say, and you just giving out information. But right now, who cares? It just seems so insensitive to the people and the parents that lost their lives, and the kids that lost their lives, and the kids that were injured. It just seems so insensitive to start talking about bringing up facts and harm that don't mean a mother. Let me chill the fuck out. Let me chill out a little bit. My blood pressure raising off this shit. Exactly. Whatever the gender is, if this a person shot up children. That's all I need to know. A human being who was a terrible human being took children who should still be here, took them away. That's all I give a damn about. They could have identified as a fucking kangaroo for all I care. Who gives a rat's ass? And from one a-hole to another a-hole. The father of Emmanuel Haro, and I keep slipping up and calling. He ain't no damn father. I keep slipping and calling him a father. He's another POS. So while the mom, and she's not a mom, while she's trying to hold on and stick to the kidnapping story, according to the New York Post, the father has came clean. The title of the New York Post, damn, tongue-tied. The New York Post, Emmanuel Haro's father admitted to killing missing baby and dumping him in a trash can. Y'all, my fucking head gonna explode before this. My head gonna explode before this episode is over with. Did you read that title? Yeah, we got to calm the fuck down. Y'all need to pass that around. Pass it through the screen. New York Post. This is the heading. I can't even get past the freaking heading or the title or whatever you want to call it. Emmanuel Haro's, not a father, but this is what they call him, a father, admitted to killing missing baby and dumping him in a trash can. No, your screen ain't froze. I'm just at a loss for fucking words. Y'all might have thought y'all screen was froze. No, I'm just fucking froze. I know, Kathy. Hey, Kathy. I know, Kathy. I know it's hard for you with this baby Haro. That's why I saved it for the end. That's why I saved it for the end for you, Kathy, because I know this works your nerves too. But I gotta talk about it. Because this is the Flow Show, no filter. But I feel you. I'm with you, Kathy. I'm with you, Kathy. Believe me, I'm with you. This is unreal. Somebody should dump his ass in a trash can. One of them incinerators. Them trash cans that just I know this sounds evil, but I'm just pissed off right now. One of those trash in the back of those trash, the ones that the trash man got that just crush you to a fucking, that just crush the trash. You gonna dump this kid in the trash. Prison ain't good enough for him. Let's see. Let's continue, man. Jake was tricked into admitting he unalived 7-month-old baby and dumped the body in a trash can, according to a new report. As authorities say, the baby died after enduring lengthy abuse by his parents. Investigators used an undercover inmate to goad Jake into admitting to the grisly crime scene. Remember, we talked about this yesterday that they used a fake inmate. But anyway, meanwhile, authorities said they can prove Emmanuel died after a long period of physical abuse at the hands of Haro and his wife. You two bastards. Man, I can't take this shit, y'all. I can't take this. This is too much. Where's my fucking water? Making a brick of my network. They say they have a pretty strong indication of where the remains are, but they're keeping that secret right now. Yet the mom is still saying, now I don't know if I heard anything different, but remember last thing we heard, she's still trying to say he was kidnapped. And then these sick, look, and this is this sick, twisted pair when they on the news, they got a picture of baby Haro as if they really looking for him, and they know this idiot right here already knows that he done unalived this boy and dumped him in the trash can. And he's sitting up here in a fucking American Eagle hoodie with a picture of him like he didn't do what he just did. Man, these people need to go. They ass need to rot. They ass need to be up under the prison. Bury their ass. How can you do that to a poor innocent child? You see, this is the case. Like in cases like this, we need like an expedited. We need a trial like some of them overseas countries got, where they already would be in prison for life already. We don't. It's a waste of time to take all this time to send their ass up the river. You know what I mean? Cases like this, where you killing kids and it's open and shut case, this don't need to be dragged out. Slam the fucking gavel, put their ass in prison for the rest of their fucking life, and quit wasting our tax dollars on these uh fucking bag of trash. These two bags of trash. These two bags of trash need to just be taken for life. We don't need no long, drawn out trial. We don't need no long, drawn out trial. Judge need to just slam the fucking gavel and put their ass, save our tax dollars. Slam the gavel and lock their ass away for the rest of their damn life, and let's move on. Somebody said they were in tears. Y'all, Tracy said she had to walk outside, and walk through the neighborhood this morning. She was about in tears. Yeah, this one of them sad ones, y'all. Y'all, I'm at a loss for words, man. If you want to support the podcast, become a member at Buzzsprout or join the YouTube channel. I'm gonna put the link in the chat. Yeah, this is an emotional episode today. This is some bullshit. I'll put the Buzzsprout link in the chat, and I'm gonna put the YouTube link in the chat as well. This everybody hold your children, pray for everybody and all the children, especially let's pray for our children in our community. We got a lot of people in our community that got kids still going through these schools, still in elementary school. And it's just bullshit, man. This was a tough one, man. I got to get the hell out of here before I be on here crying. Y'all gonna be like, damn, Flo was crying on Thursday. I just put the YouTube link in there if you want to support the show and join our members only podcast episode, which we have every Wednesday. Please do. Zebra Flow is slowly creeping in. Pray for Juice. Juice had a little skin infection. He went to the vet the other day and he got some medicine and he's been acting real kind of like Juice been kind of like real like sluggish last couple days. King took him to the vet, I think the day before yesterday. They said he got like some type of skin infection. And so he taking medicine right now, but he's definitely like very like sluggish. So pray for Juice, pray for everybody. And let's get the amounts in the chat. We about to get the fuck out of here. Thank you, Lily. Praying for Juice. He's been moving very like you could tell he ain't feeling the best. Appreciate everybody and praying for everybody, kids out there. Everybody be safe. Lala said, we love you, Flo. Am out. Thank you, Lala. Tracy said, I wish I could take y'all with me, but I'm out. Lily says, love to you all and stay safe, and I'm out. Desi says, stay safe, Flo fan. I'm out. Flo fam, I'm out. I'm out. Praying for Juicy. Steph. Fire Glory says, oh no, Juice. Yeah. He's kind of down. I'm gonna take him out after this show. I'm gonna take Juice out. Let him see if he want to run around a little bit. We shall see. But as always, looking forward to tomorrow, TGIF episode. Join me every day, 8:30 a.m. Thank you to all the Apple fam out there, all my Spotify fam out there. Keep the 5-star ratings coming. I appreciate all of y'all, my Facebook family, my TikTok family, my Instagram family, all of that. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you to everybody out there. As always, I love y'all. But I am